Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to force a resync of records, any kind of record. There's two ways to do it. Well, depending on if you're using QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. I'm going to show you the QuickBooks Online one because it's very quick and easy. You shouldn't really have to do this ever, but if you do need to, this is how you do it. And the reason why you normally shouldn't have to do it is because the sync is pretty much automated. So unless you just see something, wrong, you don't really need to do this. You can go in here and I just went to the QB Online menu and I clicked on Manage QuickBooks Online. If you do Quick Sync All, it will just do a sync based on the last sync time that it knows of. But if you want to go back further, like you just want to really resync, just click on, say for example, I want to get invoices again. I want to refresh them, so I'm going to go back, say 2 months. So I'll just go back to some date and then click refresh. Now, if you're doing customers, invoices, and payments, I would recommend that you do the same thing to payments and customers, since you're potentially modifying manually records that are associated with customers and payments. So if you're doing payments or you're doing invoices, I would sync, customers, invoices, and payments, all of those together. You might want to do accounts as well, just in case some balances change, although that one's not quite as critical. So, typically what I do is I'll go in and I'll modify all three. So I'll do customers, invoices, payments, something like that, and maybe accounts. And then I'll just go ahead and refresh all of those. And then that way I know I've got a fresh copy of all of those data elements. All the balances should be correct and everything. Okay, so that is how you do it with QB Online. So how do you force the refresh of records in QB Desktop? Well, I just pulled the sync app here in View, and it's very simple. What you want to do, the way that sync works, just like it works in QB Online, is it will go and look for anything that changed since the last sync date time and down to the second. So for example, if I want to get invoices again, I want to refresh. I've got an invoice, let's say from a couple weeks ago, and something went wrong with the payment or something like that. I can click right here on the last sync, go in and just backdate this. And same thing, if you can just go back as far as you want, but just understand it's going to resync all those again. Okay, so, and same thing, if you're going to do invoices, I think it actually will automatically pull customers again. Let's just see what happens. Well, actually, if you sync only invoices, let's see what happens here. I'm trying to refresh my memory. So it's going to go back, like 2 months there and pick up. So, okay, what it does is it pulls customer balances again. So it does do that part automatically. So on QB Desktop, you actually don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now I just pulled invoices again. It worked fine, and I got a refreshed copy. I can do the same thing on any of these if I want to go back a little bit and resync the record.